Hello everybody, it's Steven with Focus Cube Habitats again, and what we've got today is just kind of a quick Heretic update video. So we've got a couple videos out that really go in depth on what this enclosure is and what it's supposed to do, so you can watch those for more info on the whole setup. But this is going to be kind of a fun little update video on stuff that we've tweaked and changed and upgraded. So the first thing, and plus I'll show you some just stuff I think is cool anyhow. But the first thing is going to be the perch system in these units. So for the carbon fiber perches, I wanted a clip system that would hold the perch in without it being easily removed by the animal. And I had made some clips in the past that had to be sized exactly to the perch itself, which that gets annoying because if you wanted to use say a 25mm perch and you wanted to swap it out with a 15 for whatever reason, you'd have to swap the mounts too. So what I've come up with is a universal mount. So the outer diameter is the same, so that lets you have all of the same size mount in here, and you can just easily pop different sizes in and out and have them held in there secure. So I'll show you that real quick. Clip in, dun, 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 clip in, nice and secure. We can pop the 25 out. We can put dun, 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 a 15 in. Easy peasy. There's no need to swap any of the mounts out. Some other cool stuff I'll just show off real quick is, like you've seen in previous videos, this is going to be the deflector for the Mist King. So when this mister is misting, we want to try and keep as much moisture off that halogen cage as we can. So I've got that cool gizmo there that actually works shockingly well. And another cool thing is going to be the probe mount for the heat panel. So you've seen this in other videos too, but I guess I figured I'd show it to you up close because maybe possibly this is something you guys might want for other enclosures, so we may offer it as just a kind of like accessory that you can order. So how this thing works is you've actually got your pocket here, and your cord is going to come out the back of that panel, so it's going to fit in this recess here, and your probe is going to slide down through that dude, dun, 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 all the way through there. It's going to fit in here. It's going to come with a zip tie, so you'll be able to zip tie it in place. And what we've done is try to keep it as exposed as possible to ambient air without it being wiggled around a whole bunch. So it holds it in place, so if the animal messes with it, it's not going to come dislodged, and it's going to hold it in there. And you've got your slot there for your probe cord to come out of, and then this slot here is for the physical cord of the heat panel itself. It can come directly out the back, or if you happen to have a cord slot that's here or here, that cord can wrap around it either way and then exit the enclosure. So this is a super cool thing that I think is pretty game changery. So I'd like to start offering that potentially on some other stuff, but it works great in here. So instead of just having it mounted flush to the wall, we're trying to get it a little closer to the center of this panel. So you can kind of dial in your temps a bit closer without having to do so much guessing on the back wall and all that stuff. So it's been actually super duper neat. We do have the background as an option. Just kind of a quick thing on the background. These things aren't just thrown on there and screwed in. What we have to do is silicone the back. We actually lay the background on, we screw the background down, and then I hand paint, you know, like 50 screw heads per background. It's bananas. I mean, it took I don't know how many days, 3 or 4 days, just to paint all the backgrounds in these units, trying to cover those screw heads. So all right, so the next 3D printed silliness I'll show you is going to be the latch for the lock. So you can get these enclosures with either like a wing latch style, so just quick access, you can click it open, click it closed, or you can get a lock. So if you're putting this somewhere you don't want anybody getting in, you can order it with the locks. And what was kind of driving me nuts is the latch on these is just a straight piece, so nothing is exactly perfect anywhere. So the thickness of your door varies here, the thickness of the depth of the cut can vary slightly, and the overall thickness of the PVC varies slightly. So what that will do is you'll have some wiggling of the door, so it won't hold it flush. So I actually made this latch here that's like probably offset about 9/10 or so. I've beveled the edge on it just to try and get that door to close as flushly and as tightly as possible, so that lets less air in and out of the enclosure without having to have a bunch of, you know, foam and weather strips and seals and nonsense that won't ever live. So this is a pretty clever solution to that I like. But other than that, it's pretty much the same as the other videos. You know, you're still going to have your controllers mounted here for your fan system and your one over here for your Mist King. We just don't have them mounted at the moment because we're fixing to wrap them up and put them in the trailer. But yeah, for the most part, those are kind of the large updates to the unit. So we've been running the snot out of the ones we have at home, and they've been working good. So now it's basically just making things more consumer user friendly and attractive too. So yeah, I like to make things that look good and work well, and I think doing silly stuff like this actually really makes a difference. So we're always trying to look, learn, tweak, and find better ways to do stuff, and I think we're slowly but surely getting there. But yeah, check out the other videos on the Heretics. You can get kind of an idea of what's going on with them and just kind of add this stuff in as the newest, latest, and greatest upgrade. So we're constantly iterating, we're constantly changing stuff. So if there's a better way to do something, we're sure enough going to do it. Since we've got a couple of these guys on the ground, I'll show you what the top of them looks like. Typically when we do our videos, they're way up here and you can't see. So since we've got some right here, as we've already talked about, you've got your exhaust vent there, and you're probably wondering what this dude is. So inside you have your Jungle Dawn. We use the Luminize in these, which are programmable via your phone or tablet or smart device, and you can set up your lighting schedules on those. So this cord that actually comes out is held in by this little cord clip cover, and this will mount directly into the UVB that sits here. So instead of having a separate cord for the Jungle Dawn and a separate cord for the UVB, they're going to plug into each other, and this whole setup plugs into your Herpstat 6 that comes with this enclosure to provide constant power to these things. And you actually shut them on and off and set your lighting schedule via the Arcadia app. So you're not using a thermostat to dim or not dim. It's always going to have 100% power to these, and the program is what's going to cycle them on and off. We've got these dudes here, which are essentially, these little plates are covers for the Lamp Holder Pro cords. So trying to minimize the cords inside the enclosure, I've got holes cut in the top, and then I've got slots for the cords to come out the rear. But, you know, obviously we don't want our halogen shining up on the ceiling all the time. So we've got covers on here to keep the light down. And also, if you got a house like ours with a bunch of dogs in it, it's dusty all the time. So we're trying to keep as much stuff from going in as possible. So that's why we use the filtered air setup, and we try and cover as much as we can of any open areas on the top.
About to get these all wrapped up.
Oh, yeah. And one more thing. You're going to notice too, these slots here. So you see a slot there, and if you come over here to your stand, you've got a slot up top, and this is actually where a link fits. So these screws are removed here, and these two physical units are linked to each other. We have them unlinked at the moment because we're going to have to travel with them. We don't have the space. And it makes them a little bit easier to move too. So instead of trying to carry that one giant unit around, it makes it a little bit easier separating the two because they are so large. So it's another cool feature. We use those in like the hangers and stuff. Super great, really convenient. But yeah, I think that's all I got.